Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Karina from Per Diem Thrifts. If you are new here, welcome. I am a full-time reseller on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay, and I'm really excited about today's video because I haven't done anything like this before. I think I've talked a little bit about productivity and self-development over on my Instagram, which you can follow at Per Diem Thrifts, but I haven't really talked to you guys about it here on YouTube. And it's kind of funny because I watch a lot of self-development on YouTube. So I wanted to put my journey, my story, my experiences, whatever you guys want to call it, out there for you guys. One of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel was because I wanted to be able to document my reselling journey, my growth with my business, and just be able to see how much I've progressed over time. And that's why I came up with today's video idea. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my mid-year review, talk to you guys about the goals that I set at the beginning of 2021, how they've changed over the past 6 months, and what I'm planning for the rest of the year, and what I'm planning for the rest of 2021. So if that sounds interesting to you, grab a cup of coffee, grab a journal or a notebook so that you guys can write your own goals while you're watching this, and let's get into it. So at the beginning of 2021, I was definitely struggling. One of the things that pushed me out of the funk that I was in because of the pandemic and because of, you know, being isolated from my friends and family was doing the business consultation with the Global Collective company. I've talked about it in a previous video. I'll link it up here if you guys want to hear more about it. But that business consultation that I did with Isa seriously motivated me to kind of just get my shit together and do what I needed to do to get to where I wanted to be. 2020 was my first full year being a full-time reseller, and I didn't do that great. I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. It was not a good year for me business-wise or any otherwise, and I think it's because of the pandemic, but for a lot of other reasons I just wasn't really prepared. So I really wanted to make a difference in 2021 and do better. And so far I have. So I wanted to share with you guys my goals that I set up at the beginning of 2021, just to give you guys some context, and then I'll share with you guys how these goals of mine have changed. One of the goals that I set for myself at the beginning of this year was to profit $3,000 a month. That means after Poshmark fees, after eBay fees, Mercari fees, after cost of goods, I wanted $3,000 in my pocket. I was finally able to do it, and I did it consistently for 3 months, and then June and July hit and it went to crap because I obviously have been taking a lot of vacations and I haven't been able to get back there. So that's one of my goals for this month, is to get back to that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to reach it this month, but next month for sure. I'm back in the game. I don't have any more trips planned, at least until September, I think. So we're good. We're gonna get back on track. The next goal that I set for myself was to pass $100,000 on Poshmark. I still haven't reached it, and that's totally okay, but I'm a lot closer to it than I was at the beginning of the year. I knew that it was going to take me time and I wasn't going to necessarily reach it until later on in the year, so I am on track for that. I'm currently at a little over $86,000 earned on Poshmark, so I should be able to reach that 100,000 mark in the next couple months with the way that everything is going right now. This next one's kind of funny. I wrote down that I wanted to start selling merch, and I kind of did. I mean, I kind of started. I started making stickers, and you will see them in my Poshmark closet. I used to share it a lot on my Instagram, but I haven't been selling them a lot, and I haven't been pushing it out there just because I don't feel like 100% that was the best like work that I could have made. I still want to create my own stickers and maybe one day have merch, but I just don't think that I'm there yet. And that goal has kind of morphed into something else, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later. The next 3 goals were kind of related, at least now to me they're related. I don't think that they were related before, but it was to find a new creative outlet because reselling was kind of sucking my soul out of me, and I wasn't really finding satisfaction or like fulfillment in my job anymore. I just wanted to find something else. And the two other goals that I had that were kind of related was that I needed to find a new direction for my website. It still hasn't happened yet, but right now my website just pretty much has links to everything, and it's unfortunate because I'm paying monthly to have my website live and I'm not doing anything with it. And then the third goal that's related with all of this was to start my YouTube channel. So YouTube has obviously become my new creative outlet. I still think I'm looking for something else to do, which is why I had that whole idea about merch, but I'm just gonna push that one off to the side for now. And I had an idea for my website. If you guys saw one of my other videos, I started consignment. I only have one client right now. However, I am hoping to set up my website so that I can reach more consignment clients and maybe do other kinds of content creation, like maybe make some kind of digital downloads, or maybe make a course, write an ebook, something else that I can do that will kind of feed that piece of me that's missing. I'm not 100% sure on what that is. I think last year I talked about writing a book and that just kind of went down the drain. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm kind of leaving that up in the air as well. Right now my main focus is our YouTube. I want to get into consignment a little bit more. I'll talk about that later as well. And reselling, obviously. So those were the goals that I set at the beginning of the year. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I have been going through this workbook throughout this year. It is by the YouTuber Lavender. It is called the Artistry of Life workbook, and it's pretty much a planner that you go through throughout the year, and you're able to set goals for yourself. You're able to track your progress, do monthly reviews, quarterly reviews, and mid-year reviews. So that's kind of what I'm going off of for this video. And the first question in the mid-year review was, what am I proud of so far this year? And there's a lot. Honestly, there's a lot that I'm proud of. I am in an exponentially better place than I was at this time last year, and I'm really proud of myself for that. But anyway, some of the things that I wrote down were staying consistent with YouTube. Like I mentioned earlier, it's all because of Becky Park on Poshmark and her whole YouTube course. Without that, I don't think I would have gotten the motivation to keep going. And this has become a really fun hobby for me. Like filming videos has been really fun and a learning experience. I had to learn how to edit all my videos, and coming up with video ideas is a lot of fun as well. Another thing that I am proud of is that I was a winner of Poshmark's Heart and Hustle Fund, and it feels weird to say that it's something that I accomplished because all I did was really apply for it, but it's still something that I'm gonna hold with me for a really long time. I think being a part of the Poshmark community and being like recognized and acknowledged for my work is just extremely something to be proud of, so I put that on my list. Another thing that I'm proud of was that I was able to organize my finances. A lot of help came from things like the Poshmark fund that I won, also the PPP loans, just all of these like abundances and things that I'm so grateful that I was able to get just really helped me get out of this pit that I was in. I wasn't in debt or anything. I just kind of felt really stagnant, like I wasn't moving, and just having that source, having my finances just sorted out was just really helpful. And that has been such a difference from 2020. I was not in a good place financially. I'm not saying that like I want to be rich or anything, but just being able to say that you're financially stable is like an amazing feeling and something that I am extremely proud of as well. And the last thing on my list is growing my Poshmark closet. So like I mentioned earlier, I did reach my goal of making $3,000 a month in profit every month, and I'm now switching that up and raising it to $5,000 a month, and I hope I can get that before the end of the year. I will be very, very happy if I can do that. I've also been able to grow like my inventory. I went from having less than 200 items in my inventory to now over 600, and being able to manage all of that is difficult. It is harder, in my opinion, to manage like a larger amount of inventory. I can't even imagine the people who have like thousands of pieces of inventory in their closet. Hands off to you. I think that is amazing. I don't have the space for that, but I've also changed like a lot of my habits in my business and made them more efficient, made them more profitable, and I'm very happy about that. The theme that I set at the beginning of 2021 was consistency and taking action. And I think that was because I had really bad anxiety in 2020, and there were days, sometimes weeks, where I literally couldn't do anything. Like I was just paralyzed. There were times in 2020 where my anxiety was so bad that I couldn't get out of bed. Like I couldn't do anything. I would barely be able to get up and get my daughter up and ready and fed, and all I could do was like sit there. And so one of the things that I wanted to do in 2021 was just like not let that happen. And that's why I said taking action was one of my themes. I just really wanted to not necessarily fall into that like hustle and grind mindset, but just to get up off my ass and do something, and staying consistent with YouTube and with reselling. That was something that was really important to me as well. The next question in the mid-year review was, do you feel aligned with your theme for 2021? And I will say that I do, but I still think that there are some things that I need to work on. For example, I need to create like a schedule. I'm not really the kind of person who likes to have every single thing planned out on a day-to-day basis. I like to just have like a to-do list and then get it all done somehow. That's kind of how I work. But I think that having like at least like a loose structure would be more beneficial for me. So that's definitely something that I need to try, and that will help me be more actionable and be more consistent as well. The last question in the mid-year review was, where do I want to direct my energy and focus for the second half of 2021? I talked about this kind of with my fiance over the past weekend. We were camping and I kind of just put my phone away and wasn't on social media, wasn't working on my business or anything, and I just really took time to think about what it is that I wanted, what it is that we wanted as a family. And our biggest thing was that we really want to move. Right now we live in an apartment. We really want to move into our own house. We want to buy a house. We're not necessarily sure where we want to buy a house. We don't know if we want to stay in Oregon, if we want to move back to California, if we want to go somewhere else. But I think that one of my biggest goals, and it was one of my biggest goals at the beginning of the year too, but moving on to the second half of 2021, I really want to save money to be able to move. That's another reason why I wanted to kind of increase my profit on Poshmark, so that I can put that those extra earnings into saving for a house. The other thing that I want to focus my energy on is, and I think it's kind of ironic, because I want to find ways to run my business more efficiently so that I can have more fun. And I wrote that because, as you guys know, I've been taking a lot of trips. I've been doing a little bit of traveling, but really just spending time with friends and family. And that has made me feel so fulfilled. I think that's the thing that I was missing at the beginning of the year, just that connection. And so when I do these things, my business doesn't run to its fullest, obviously, because I'm not paying attention to it as much as I usually do. So I really want to find a way to be able to step away from my business and know that it's going to run well. I've started making some progress on this goal. I started using a bot on Poshmark to share my closet. It is called Posher VA. I have a whole video doing a walkthrough of the extension. If you guys want to check that out, I will link that up above. Posher VA has helped me take a step away from my business just a little bit. I mean, I just don't have to sit there and share my closet all the time. I don't even have to send offers all the time. It does it all for me, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm trying to find other ways that I can automate my business so that I can take more steps away. So another thing that I'm trying is hiring a VA to cross list for me. I use List Perfectly, but even still, you really have to sit there and like cross list everything. But I've been using services from Poshing Perfect. They used to be my VAs for sharing my closet until I moved on to using a bot. Now I use them to cross list, and right now they're cross listing all my stuff onto eBay for me so that I don't have to. I'm loving it so far. I'm really excited because I'm going to continue this service. It is a new service that they're offering, but I will link their information down below if you guys want to check that out. You can also find VAs and people who can cross list for you on Fiverr or on Upwork, which is another great website. So those are two things that I'm doing currently to automate and delegate in my business. I know that there are other things that I can do. I just kind of have to work towards that, but that will help me free up some time so that I can do more things that I enjoy, like YouTube, maybe finding some time to work on a book or something else, or just spend time with my friends and family. A lot has changed for me, even just from the past 6 months, and it's kind of crazy when I look back on things and see how like worried I had been at the beginning of the year that I wasn't going to be able to reach these goals, and now we're halfway through and I'm making progress on it, and I'm really proud of that. I highly recommend, if you guys haven't already, to write down some goals for yourself. It's not too late to make a plan. I want to recommend this book to you guys. It's called Start Finishing. I read this book last year and it changed my mindset on a lot of things. I am a procrastinator at heart. I really am, because I'm a perfectionist. I over plan things, which is ironic because I know earlier I said that I don't like to plan things. I'm a whole jumble in here, but this book really helped me kind of hone in on my goals and figure out why I wanted them and how to accomplish them. So if you guys are in the market for a good self-development book, I highly recommend this one. And also some YouTube channels that I really like to watch about productivity is Lavender, which I mentioned earlier, and Michelle B. I will link their channels down below as well if you guys want to check them out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'd love to do more like productivity and self-development content on this channel if that's something that you guys are interested in. If you're not, I totally get it. It's not for everyone, but I think it definitely helps when you are a work from home or self-employed person. So I just want to share any tidbits of information that I have to you guys. But let me know down below what your guys' goals are for the rest of the year, and let's chat in the comments and see how we can help each other stay accountable and accomplish everything that we want for this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.